Today on Drawbli,
we're looking at the art of Heonhwa.
this artist is insane.
Yes, I love this flamingo piece so much. It is so beautiful.
With the girl in the pink dress fitting right in.
Yeah, and the way the water is done with the reflections.
Yeah.
I tried to paint water recently. It didn't go like that.
It's hard. It is genuinely hard, especially trying to maintain like all the reflections and the flow in the water. It's not easy. But this is an artist that works on Magic the Gathering as well as I'm sure many other IP. But I think it's very clear that this is an extremely talented individual right away.
Yeah, I mean, all this hard surface stuff of this big cannon combined with, figure drawing, clothing drawing, shoe drawing, like all that stuff.
Shoe drawing.
All this stuff is its own categories of difficulty, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like, at the end of the day, it's just all skill building. It's skills that are being like combined here into these very complicated pieces. But I feel like a lot of people who aren't in the art world too much kind of look at something and they're just like, magic. It's magic.
Yeah, or they're like, oh, that looks easy.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, definitely not.
These are cool.
Yeah, and I've drawn a handful of motorcycles, so it's really fun to look at them drawn by somebody who really takes the time to render out each piece without it getting super muddy and cluttered, because it's really easy for especially a motorcycle or something like that. They have so many little parts to them that they can easily become a mess.
Yeah, I recently saw a kind of a graph laid out of easiest to most difficult things to draw. And I would say motorcycles would definitely be on the harder end just because of all the exact mechanical nature, perfect curves and all that.
I thought this image was super cool because of this bald warrior with this really cool flowing white beard and his big halberd.
This dude wiping the blood off of his blade up here. These are very cool.
Yeah.
I love how painterly this person's style is as well. In particular with this piece. Some of the other ones were more rendered out, but I actually prefer, I think, when things are a little less rendered, kind of like this here, where, you can see the brush strokes.
There's a lot of lost edges, a lot of form, but it still looks it doesn't look too messy. I can still see what's happening and what's trying to be conveyed here. Yeah,
I actually think that that's harder to have this more painterly feel without it kind of becoming crazy messy, like this.
This horse is gorgeous. It looks like something out of a dream almost. Just this golden yellowish image of this horse charging through this undefined area. I just love it.
It's got that vibe, a very dreamlike vibe where it feels like a memory because of the lighting.
Legally, we are allowed to focus our interior decorating around horses because we live in Kentucky. So there's nothing stopping us from having that.
Only me. I am the only thing stopping us from having horses everywhere.
I mean, I'm not trying that hard, but I did like horses a lot in my youth, in my childhood.
I liked skeletal soldiers a lot in my youth.
We don't live in the right state. It's just not legal in Kentucky.
Ah, dang. Only if we lived in Idaho, where that is more of a thing.
Oh, yeah. Idaho. It's
honestly kind of looks like Idaho in a field of maybe beans.
It's a big farmland, yeah. Okay, Idaho, we have found your artwork representing your state. Congratulations.
This is definitely a Magic the Gathering card. This has to
cool.
be.
Yeah, I love it. It's this witch with a reaper sickle, that's got her army of the dead with her.
Do you think I could get away with only drawing and painting skeletal knights for the rest of my life, and that's just all I do?
I mean, it's not legal in the state of Kentucky.
I would have to move to Idaho.
I would call the cops. You'd have to move to Ohio?
Idaho.
Oh, okay. I was like, Ohio's not that big of a jump. You could just, you're there. You can do whatever you want in Ohio.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so I should move to Ohio.
I mean,
they have no rules there.
Not like Kentucky. I love the composition of this piece. I love anything that has the big boss character, magnificent and huge in the background, and then whatever our super cool looking warrior is more in the foreground with a warrior's face. It's such a classic composition of warrior facing away from us, big boss in the background.
Helping to like set the scale and everything. Yeah, it is a very classic kind of like Conan the Barbarian-esque composition.
It's very cool. Again, with like a very sepia toned piece, just like that horse, we have that here, where it's not in white, it's more in this yellowish beige sepia.
Yeah.
I love the skull that she's holding that is actually so well painted and rendered here with the big cracks in it. And not to mention her jewelry here on her wrist is super well done too. It's all still like, just kind of like fuzzy a little bit, but it's well defined. We know what we're looking at.
Yeah, this kind of feels like sci-fi mixed with fantasy here, just because of the clothing style. Felt a bit futuristic. Oh my god, I love these so much.
I put this in for you specifically.
I love all these fun helmets. I have seen, I think, all of these helmets, because I think they are all based on real world helmets, but they are extremely exaggerated in terms of scale and size, which is really fun.
I like how this one appears to have a flamethrower.
Oh, he does. I feel like maybe this artist was painting the helmet first and they were like, oh, that kind of looks like a flamethrower, and then went from there. I don't know, but yeah, that is super cool.
Yeah, there's no knowing. It's just awesome.
Oh, that is amazing. That is clearly a blue card for MTG.
Oh, I remember that when you briefly taught me MTG.
I never taught you MTG.
Didn't we play it once?
You're thinking of some ex-boyfriend that you played Magic with.
This is cool because I love when we take a real world creature and we're saying, what would it look like if this creature was taken out of its normal setting and set into a fantasy setting?
So an eel, and then it's like a draconic eel almost. Or I almost feel like it's Hydra-esque, where these are all tangled and connected to the same beast behind. That's the vibe I get.
Or it's like a spell that she just cast that like summons a bunch of draconic eels. It's very cool.
This is also a spell called Mage Hand.
Yeah.
Trying to grab their little tiny sword back.
Give me back my sword. Everybody else gets a sword. Why don't I get one?
Oh, this is okay. I thought that this was an enemy they were fighting. I was like, they are way too cavalier about what's going on here. But this is
like a blacksmith god.
Something.
Like a form of Hephaestus.
Yes. But they're not ugly enough to be Hephaestus.
Yeah, not quite. I know. It's a pretty good looking Hephaestus. So maybe it's somebody else. But yeah, they've all received like magic charmed blades. Very cool.
Yeah, I feel like these big pieces like this, and even something like, obviously this isn't quite as large here, but it is really easy to take for granted how much skill is going into a piece like this. You know, on Drawbli in our videos, we try to slow down and break down a lot of the parts and pieces of someone's artwork. But like, really, there's just so many years of time and effort and love poured into these skills to be able to create something like this.
Right, like it's such a gift that people are willing to dedicate their lives to these things so that we can reap the benefits. So this is legally allowed in Kentucky.
Yes.
Artwork in our home.
Yep, we could hang horse. I feel like the Kentucky horse vibe is a little different than this.
It's a little different. Maybe we wouldn't see this at the Kentucky Derby, but
it could.
It's legally the Kentucky Derby of the future.
Legally, it could, or maybe the past,
or maybe the fantastical past in another reality. This is the Kentucky Derby.
I am a big. Would you say you would prefer fantasy or sci-fi?
Oh, it depends on the context.
Okay. I definitely am more of a fantasy nerd, and I feel so inspired looking at all of these amazing artworks. They really make me want to kind of lean more into that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so cool to get to create things that aren't based in reality. Like you have, creation from a reference of a person, but then there's placing that in a whole nother world and new clothing, new storyline. It's just amazing with magic systems.
This feels like more sci-fi,
well,
I think.
Yeah, I would say so. With the falling subway cars, it's like a telekinesis sort of.
That's kind of the vibe that I got as well. I don't know what it is that, I guess, the falling subway cars.
And if you would like to have telekinesis, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
And this is the part where we say
Goomba.